Hello, thanks for watching the interview. My name is Jason Ellis. Thanks to Coey Cain for the questions, the opportunity to do the interview. I've got the questions down here on the side on my screen, so if I look over, that's why. So let's get started straight away. Yes, Jason Ellis. There's a link to my blog pages and stuff, probably here, down there somewhere, wherever Coey puts them. List the books I've written. So I write primarily for mid-grade teen readers in the fantasy genre. The Amelia Maylock books is one of the series I'm on, and also the Holly Silverstone books. Like I say, mostly fantasy. I have authored other books as well. Banana Skins on the Table is another one of them, somewhere around here, up there. That's contemporary fiction for the adult reader. That was very fun to write. First person perspective on that book. It's like a diary from the main character. Very funny. I design the covers. Some of them I like, some of them I wish were better, and I muck around in my spare time trying to redesign them. Some I've changed, some I haven't. So very happy with the Holly Silverstone covers though. I think they work really well. I'll come back to them later on actually, because there should be a blog link somewhere, and there's a reveal for the second book in the series on there, for Golden Smoke it's titled, so I'm happy with that cover as well. They're just coming out really well. They seem to fit the stories, which I think covers should have a link to the story. They should just kind of fit it perfectly. Okay, what's my favourite quote and who is it by? That's a tough question. I'll get back to that one. Or I'll make my own quote up. Let me think. I'll just quickly make up a quote now. Let me see. Before you pick up the pen to write, make sure you realise how long you'll carry it for and how heavy it could be. There you are, exclusive Jason Ellis quote just for this interview. There you are. Didn't expect that today, did you? Yeah. Okay, right, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself? As I said, Jason Ellis. I'm in my 30s. I live in England and I write books. Perfect. And I wear grey hats. I don't use a pen name. I write under the name Jason Ellis. I first started writing, I'd say it was probably when I was about 18, 19. That was more of a hobby, but I was just scribbling ideas down, scribbling stories that were coming out. I think a friend of mine also was in university on a media course, and I thought to myself, I think he asked me for some stories because he was thinking about doing some short films, and I just scribble some stuff down and let him have a look at it. So I finished my first book, the proper book that I would say was ready to be published, was about the year 2000. That was the first in a science fiction trilogy. So quite a while ago now that the books have, I've been properly, seriously into writing. So I grew up in a normal street in England, just a normal street in England, normal house. It was great. I've got great memories of my childhood. Friends lived nearby. We had a park to play in and swings and slides, and there was a small wood, and near there was a riding school, so you could go and walk past the horses every day, use stuff like that really. School friends, so yeah, it's great growing up really. I live very close to there now. It's pretty much exactly the same, just another street in England. No horses, and I don't go on the swings as much. But that's growing up for you. We'll be serious now. Okay, so if I could write a different genre, what would it be? I would probably stick with where I am. I just love writing fantasy and anything where you can let the imagination run. That's the important thing for me, because you can just take a story to wherever. You really can if you use your imagination. So I'll stick in that genre. How much of the book is based on real life experience? Okay, well If I walk out the house and I tell you that I see dragons and, you know, magic is real, and if I lose my keys I immediately blame the elves for stealing them and borrowing them overnight, then how much are the books based on real life experience? It's for you to decide, isn't it? My current projects are more of the Amelia Maylock series, more Holly Silverstone, teen horror, and also a supernatural YA book, which is more for the older reader. There's also illustration, animation for Holly Silverstone as well, which I'm working on now, which I'm very excited about, because it will almost be cartoon. It'll almost be a cartoon based on Holly Silverstone, and it'll be posted onto YouTube every... I will not put a time limit on that. Won't put a time limit on that, because it takes a long time to draw, so hopefully that. If I had to do it all over again, what would I change about a book? What would I change about a book? You know, I'd like to make my books longer. I really like books that are like, you know, big as a house brick, and they're just epic. I would love that. Oh, there's one in here somewhere. It's probably, I don't know, it's over here somewhere, but it will come out soon. It'll take me about 2 years to write it, and it'll be, you know, 1,000 pages long or something. That'd be amazing. Share a little of your current work with us. Yes, I mentioned earlier the blog link, which is floating around somewhere. There is a chapter for Holly Silverstone Book 2 posted on there, on the blog. So if you go there, you can read that. So, do I experience writer's block? How do you get your inspiration back? I don't work on one book at a time. I work on more than one book at a time. So if I do have a problem with something and it seems to be slowing down, move to a different book, write a different chapter, or work on a book cover. Find something else to work on. You know, split your time up like that. So then you suddenly get to a point, then you think to yourself, I've got to get back to that book and start writing again, and your block's gone, your inspiration is back. You know, or just go for a walk. And there's another question here which says, where'd you get your ideas? I mean, your ideas come from anywhere. Just go out and do a bit of people watching, sit in a cafe and have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and you know, just walk about, and your ideas will just come into your head. It's just, that's how it works. So what do I do when I'm not writing? Well, I'm a father. I have a large family, so my spare time is kids and reading kids' books with children, watching cartoons, playing with toys, lightsaber fights, Star Wars films, Ben 10, you name it. That's my spare time. So yeah, very fun spare time. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to scroll down quickly. So, do I work to an outline, or do I just write? I can have a chapter or an idea pop into my head, and then I can hit the laptop and I'll type for however long it takes. Suddenly 10,000 words have appeared, and then it's done. But then when I actually put it into the story, I'll do like a storyboard or a timeline, and I'll work it out very properly. The writing part for me can be very quick. The editing process is much slower, because I sometimes will read and reread and reread, and it could just be one sentence, one paragraph, one part of a chapter, and I'll just keep going until I think it's just absolutely spot on. So yeah. How do I market my work? It's difficult really, because I mean, I don't have a huge budget to spend on big advertising campaigns. So like I said, the animation I'm working on, that could reach a lot of people on the internet. Obviously I do interviews like this. I've got the blog, you know, I'm on Facebook. So it's just a case of networking, getting the right people to see your work, so who might be interested. Let me see, have I written a book that I love that not been able to get published? Well, I publish all my own books anyway, so I've got my own little printing press name, etc. So if I've got a book that's finished and it's right to go, then it's published. So my advice to aspiring writers, well, everything I've said before now is advice about ideas and writer's block and everything like that, and editing. But really, just stick with your story. If you've got a story in your head, but you've mentioned it to someone, and they, sometimes I've done that, and they look at you and go, "Well, why would you write a story like that? Well, I don't understand that chapter." Stick with your story. It's your story. Stick with it. That's my advice. And another quote. 2 exclusive quotes. Lucky.